This is 8th grade CBA test corrections. I'm going to go fast because I only have 15 minutes. Number 1, Mr. Leonard called a plumber to fix a leaking faucet. The table below represents the cost C the plumber charges for working H hours. And we're trying to find which equation best represents C, the number of dollars Mr. Leonard should be charged for the plumber in hours. Hopefully you used your calculator and did stat edit, stat calculate. I'm going to do it the other way. I'm going to find the rate of y. I subtract 36 minus 30.50 and I get $5.50, and this is counting by 2. So every 2 hours it's $5.50. Then I do the rate of y divided by the rate of x to find out 1 hour is $2.75. So I know that that is the unit rate. And then I've got to use a little trickery to go back. I'm going to go back 2 and go back $5.50 to find out initially it was $25 for 0 hours. So the correct answer is A. And you could plug in these numbers. You could plug in 2, and 2.75 times 2 plus 25 would be $30.50. So you could always plug in your information from the table into your equation to see which one works. The correct answer was A. Number 2 is 0.6x minus 5 equals 0.1x plus 7. You could use a shortcut to find the intersection of these two. I'm going to subtract the smallest x from each side. Cancels that. Now I would have 0.5x minus 5 equals 7. I simplified the right. Now I'm going to simplify the left by adding 5 to each side. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. That cancels. 0.5x equals 12. I divide both sides by 0.5 and I get x equals 24. If I plugged in 24 to both sides of those equations, I would get 9.4 equals 9.4. So 24 is the correct answer. 24 works. Number 3. Number 3, it's the keywords are right here. Varies directly. It lets you know that it's a proportional situation. It's about newtons and centimeters. The spring is forced or stretched. 140 newtons stretches at 4 centimeters. What would be 350? Well, if I did y divided by x, I would find the unit rate. 4 divided by 140, oh boy. Let me get my calculator real quick. Four divided by 140 is, well, it's kind of a weird number because it's a fraction. I could reduce it to 2 out of 70 or 1 out of 35. That would be our unit rate. And then I could multiply it by 350. Another thing I could do is just use proportional relationship. 350 times 4 divided by 140 to get my answer. Either way, the correct answer is 10 centimeters. 140 divided by 4 would give us the unit rate. 4 divided by 140. Y divided by x. This one's proportional. Once again, since it varies directly, you could set up a proportion. Newtons and centimeters. 140 would be 4. 350 would be what? You could solve it with a proportion if it says varies directly. Question 4. Question 4. You're starting with a 7-inch candle and it's burning 2 inches an hour. So that would be the equation, starting at 7 and burning 2 an hour. And the correct answer is B. It went down 2 inches an hour and it started at 7. Number 5 is asking greatest to least. Well, I can rule out A because it has the least first. I'm going to have to calculate some of these. The square root of 10 is about 3.16, and pi is about 3.14. So the square root of 10 would be bigger than pi. Correct answer is C. Number 6, there's two stores. There's store S, there's store T. Store S is $2.50 per game plus $5 monthly fee. Store T is $5 per game, no monthly fee. So the correct answer is A. And you want store S to be less than store T. Number 6. Oops. Commercial message while I find, number 7. Number 7. Hours are going to be the independent variable. So hours needs to be on the x-axis. So all I'm doing is finding 5 hours, 3 cakes. 5 hours, 3 cakes. That is on the line. 5 hours, 3 cakes. A looks correct. B, 5 hours, 3 cakes. C, is wrong. B, 5 hours, 3 cakes. That one's incorrect. 5 hours, 3 cakes. Not even close. Correct answer was obviously A. Everyone should have got this right. You're just putting the information and seeing if it's on the line. Question 8. Keyword. Proportional relationship. Proportional or one step. The y-intercept is always 0. The beginning is always 0. So in number 1 it said the initial amount was $100. Well, that can't be proportional. It didn't start at 0. I'm moving down to C. Charges a flat fee of $100. Well, that's not 0. Looking at D. Hourly wage of $15 with an additional $35 per pay. So it starts at 15. Look at B. The piggy bank is initially empty. And that's all you needed to do was find those keywords. Initially empty. And $1.25 is added every week. So that one will be y equals 1.25x. It's proportional. It's proportional. It has a beginning point of 0. It started with the piggy bank empty. Number 9 is not proportional. And this was easy. What is the y-intercept? Well, it's right there where it touches the y. And if you look carefully, I believe the y touches at -5. Let's blow it up a little bit. Correct, -5. So I could use stat edit and put this information in. I would find the same thing is true. I would find the slope, and then I would find the y-intercept is still -5. Should be one everyone gets correct. Number 10. Okay, number 10 has got to be the hardest one because it requires a lot of reading. And really, to do a service, you would read all of these carefully. This is a good opportunity to ask your teacher to read. A is the correct answer. Sierra has a bucket that originally contained 340 ounces of water and is being filled 5 fluid ounces per minute. Brian, 650 fluid ounces of water originally, and it's filled at a rate, being drained. Rewind, being drained at a rate. So that's a key word there, drained at a rate of 8 fluid ounces per minute. The key on this one was positives versus negatives. B was incorrect because it's got 340 and 8 as part of the same side, which is not true. C is incorrect, although I could see you getting this. This would be collects 5, would be adding 5. The reason this one would be wrong is because Brian collects 8 more. So both of those would be adding and the equation is subtracting. D has crazy numbers. You should have ruled out B and D as having the incorrect numbers. C is wrong because both are adding. A is correct because it's being drained. That means subtracting the 8. 11 should be one everybody should get. All whole numbers are real numbers, which means the whole numbers should fit inside of the real number set. A is wrong because all real numbers are whole numbers. Not correct. Does this look right? Some whole numbers are not real numbers? That's not, how could that be true? And the last one, they have nothing in common? Guys, we talked about this the start of the year, this year and last year. All whole numbers are real numbers. Number 12, I got myself a little head start and drew myself a line of best fit, prediction, or trend line. I'm ignoring those dots. Those are individual scores based on students' absences, but I want to find the trend. So what score should a student with 6 absences expect? So I'm going to go over to 6, go up till I hit the line, and go over to see my answer is between 70 and 80. So the correct answer was D as in dog, 76. You cannot use the dots, but you have to do a good job of drawing your trend line. You have to put your pencil across it to know which direction. Number 13, last one. And I'm going to make it. I've got more than 2 minutes left. Sorry, phone ringing. I am going to draw a really quick mapping of this. The X numbers are 73, 75, 77, and 79. I put the X's in order from least to greatest without repeating. The Y's, 10, 12, 13, and 14. Least to greatest without repeating. So now I'm going to match up. 75 matches to 12. 73 matches to 10. 77 matches to 13. 79 matches to 14. We're looking good till the last one. 75, 14. This is the problem. 75 cannot have 2 Y's. Each X, or every X, has 1 Y. Just one. X cannot be 75, 12 and 75, 14. So this is not a function. It's not a function. In your writing, some of you said it was a function, some said it was not. Some gave the correct reason, some did not. The reason is because you can't have 75 sometimes be 12 and 75 sometimes be 14. And it said, how could you change one or more of the values? Well, all I would need to do is change one of the 75s. Instead of 7514 at the end, what if I put 7414? Then it would be a function. I could change one of the 75. So change 7514 to 7414 would make it a function. So that's the answer it was looking for, not a function. And the way to fix it would be to change one of the 75s.